Good evening. This is Hardee and Steve, and we are going to be talking about the English Season 1, Episode 5, The Buffalo Gun. We apologize for the delayed reaction.
It's been a minute, but we're back.
We've seen it already, but I rewatched it to prepare for this episode. And how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well. It's Saturday and had a relaxing day.
Awesome. So the title is called The Buffalo Gun, and according to AI Overview, it refers to a class of large caliber rifles used by hunters to kill American bison in the late 19th century. And since this period is about late 1800s, 1875 to 1890, I think it's going to be about the gun. But it starts off, interestingly,
Well, there is a tie-in. I want to not forget about this. We see Eli. He has to work off a kind of BS debt to that guy and his wife, whose names I can't remember. But he's smashing up the buffalo skulls to make fuel. And the reason there are so many buffalo skulls is that those are the bodies of the buffalo that were just shot and left. It's kind of subtle and implied, but now they're a resource because those carcasses have been cleaned by nature.
Great. And so the episode opens up with the character Kills on Water. He's a Cheyenne person who is holding Eli captive, and we really don't know why, so it's all very dark and menacing at the same time as Kills on Water interrogates him about the massacre of Chalk River, which he was an inadvertent witness to and not a participant, Eli. So as they talk through that time, and the Kills on Water mentions that it was his entire family. He's still upset about it, and what Eli can do to make up for the sins of not interfering with that whole awful event is to kill Black Eye Mog, someone who is a known hater of Native Americans, and she, I guess interferes with Kills on Water's businesses as well. So that ends their kind of dynamic interaction, and then the next scene is Cornelia at a table, apparently inside Black Eye Mog's cabin.
I really like this part. It was really knife edge.
It was intense. It was suspenseful and very quiet. So very quiet scene, very well played by the actors in this case, because Black Eye Mog, to kind of visualize her, is this woman with goggles over her eyes and kind of dressed in a Black Widow's outfit and very villainy. And then you see Cornelia, who doesn't look
and she's also out looking for travelers to harass and take their stuff.
That's Black Eye Mog.
Yeah.
Cornelia is
obviously not doing that.
Lady Cornelia looks a little bit sick, so she's kind of speaking as if it's very difficult to speak, and at the same time she makes it clear that she is not an ally of Black Eye Mog, that she doesn't approve of what Black Eye Mog does. There's a very visual scene in which Black Eye Mog explains to her why she doesn't like Native Americans. She takes off her widow's headdress, takes the goggle off, and you do see she has no scalp.
No scalp and no eyelids.
You remember that?
Yeah.
It's jarring. It's jarring. Yeah. She survived this and has gone on to assassinate 50 or plus Native Americans, and Cornelia asks her, that wasn't enough for you to feel that you got your revenge. And, she's like, no, it'll never be enough, basically. And, Black Eye Mog says that she's not going to comply with Cornelia's request to let her know if Eli will show up and or is already imprisoned, because Eli's supposed to kill Black Eye Mog. So at any point in time, he could arrive on her settlement. And so Black Eye Mog and her, it's just squaring off. It's just squaring off, and Cornelia, spoiler alert, wins that by...
It's been out a few years.
Shooting her under the table, and thereby just ending that storyline, which is good for us because we didn't like her.
Yeah.
Interesting, but moving on.
Moving on. That's exactly how we felt. She goes back up to Kills on Water and gets Eli released.
Exactly. On the way, though, she frees a boy, a teenager who she names No Trouble, and she adopts him. And Eli asks why, but she's just saying that, well, he rescued me and I rescued him back. And so, at this point in time, they can split up because she is going somewhere else, and he just wants to return to the 160 acres in Nebraska he thinks belongs to him. And she she wants to seek out David Melmont. And he then decides that he's going to go with her. And that kind of leads up to their night talk, which is the romance.
The romance.
Of the whole show. It's been leading up to this point.
Feelings, but she can't yet share her reason for never having a partner.
I'm going to break it down where it's nighttime. And they're talking about stars. And he's translating the stars to her in his language. And, she's kind of translating it back. They're kind of having this parallel. Like, okay, this is what is... it's known as in my language, and she's like, oh yeah, that's the North Star, or this is Venus, but to you, but not to me. And I'm not going to attempt pronunciation, but he does indicate the names of them. And they talk about what is important to them. It's nighttime. The scene is beautiful. It feels like they're the only two people on the planet. It's quiet. And she talks about her son, saying that he was born on the family estate. They were both protected but not wanted. And that he lived for 14 years. She buried him under a willow tree by a lake. And home is where she buried him, in England. And she doubts that she will make it back. But Eli says that he believes she will go home one day. And he takes out that talisman he has. Do you know what it's called?
Well, he said it's medicine.
It's
like a skull of an animal.
Yeah. And it's precious to him. And he says that his wife used to take care of it. And to him, that represents home. And then he kind of acknowledges that her locket with his hair in it, her son's hair in it, is also home to her. And then they share that in common. And then they finally kiss. And at this point in time, I'm really, really happy for them. I'm thinking, this is going somewhere. But alas, no. If you haven't been paying attention to this series, I will let you know it's not a happy series. it's full of a lot of violence and darkness, and I'm happy they had this one little moment though, where they shared that they liked each other. But then she stops the kiss and she says, "I'm sorry, I can't," and she runs away. She throws off her coat, throws off her dress,
and rolls in the dirt.
She falls to her knees in a sandy pit where she begins to rub it against her skin, her face, and her body. And then she lays in it at the end of that scene. And we don't know why. But
I did not get this. I thought, weird. And I to refresh myself, because it's been a while since we watched this, I asked Copilot to summarize the episode. And it says that it symbolizes her pain and turmoil, which I don't think is right. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I think that she was in actual physical pain. And that at this moment in time, we are to suspect that she has a malady that is not revealed. And will be later revealed.
Yeah. And I mean, we now know what it is because we watched episode 6. But we'll talk about that next time.
Then the next scene opens up with Eli remarking that they can't find No Trouble. He's the young boy that she adopted. And that actually, if you see in the distance, there's 3 men with him. And they have to go and follow them and try and get No Trouble back. Then next thing you know, they're having a sort of casual lunch like situation with a Major Mackey and his lackeys. One of them is then Kelly. And they've kidnapped No Trouble to have him attend the school New Dawn, which is kind of like a re-education camp in which they will have Native Americans taught to be obedient and take orders in such a way that they will be useful for them. And at this point in time, Eli says the Oto word, or Oto/Missouri word, Ni Brathgay, which means thin water. And Major Mackey knows that's a dig on him because he's been saying the word Nebraska. And it's really to chastise him that that's not actually the word. It's Ni Brathgay. Excuse my pronunciation, but that's the original word that Nebraska came from. And at that point, one of the women that had been serving them lunch or tea was actually No Trouble's mother. Yep. She was the widow of Chief Running Hawk, and her name is actually Touch the Ground, and she is the mother of No Trouble, who is also really known as White Moon. White Moon was his given name, and Eli was managed to speak to her and communicate that they had kidnapped White Moon. So she goes, finds him, and releases him. And at this point, though, they all run together, and Major Mackey starts shooting them with the rifle as they get on horses and try to ride away. And then I guess that's why this episode is called
Buffalo Gun.
The Buffalo Gun. Although the widow of Chief Running Hawk, Touching Ground, she's the one who took the gun, didn't shoot them with it, but managed to bash Major Mackey and Sergeant Ellison with the rifle, and they then stopped them from shooting Cornelia and Eli, and allows them to kind of get away, even though I believe they managed to shoot Touching Ground at the end. So, but the episode ends as Cornelia apologizes and then collapses onto the ground in that scene because she's suffering under that mysterious illness. And at this point in time, I'd like to take the time to give flowers to the actors. Chasky Spencer, who plays Eli Whip, and Emily Blunt, who plays Lady Cornelia Locke. I think that this is not normal fare for us to watch, and I think because of the dedication and commitment they have to their characters, they made their relationship feel real. You could sense the chemistry between them, and in the kissing scene, we do really feel happy, because they were able to sell us this emotional connection, if not physical, because both of them did not physically touch until that
bought
scene.
That they were emotionally connected.
Yeah, and that they had things in common. I felt like them going a little further and giving them that happy ending wouldn't have been that much of a stretch, but they still decided, nah.
Yeah.
We'll just let them go their separate ways.
Yep.
What do you think?
I mean, it's definitely part of the modern TV of like not really giving you that resolution. But I mean, I think, I sort of, now that I know where it's going, I sort of get it. That's part of the grand tragedy of this arc.
Because it wasn't meant to be a happy ending kind of feel good watch. You know what though? It was very well constructed. The writing was very tight. They
everything about the production was great.
Yeah, very good production value.
Not my usual fare at all.
I'm a big Emily Blunt fan. I've seen most of her work. So I knew that if she was going to be tied to a project, that it would probably be a very well-written one. And it is. However, I mean, the surprise for me was Chasky. I liked his economical choices as an actor. He didn't do too much. He did just enough to be so believable as his character.
He is taciturn and soft-spoken and chooses words carefully, but not in such a way as to be boring, which a person could easily be if they're just not saying much.
Also, he did the most with what he had. He didn't have to make up very much. He's a stoic character. And there's a lot to be said about the way he uses his eyes to act. When he's directing, heat towards people, or if he is being compassionate towards Lady Cornelia. And there's so much emotion there. Like, you can tell that by his distance with her, it's showing her great love, because he knows that she must be going through something very difficult if she will not that she wouldn't return his feelings, but she's unable to. And I think there was enormous respect for her, and vice versa, that she had enormous respect for him, and that was why their relationship felt good.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I think maybe we should close out. And on the whole, did you like this episode? I think I did. I think this was one of the high points of the series.
Yeah, I mean, this is what they were working towards. I think, was I disappointed? Sure, but I'm still glad they got their kiss. So, ranking, did we do it on a scale of 5?
I think we did.
So, I'd give it 4.5.
I'm going to say 4.5, yeah. I guess that's really a 10 then if we're going to have, so that's a 9.
Or 9.5? I don't know. But anyways, it was a good one. And if you have followed them through each episode, then you'll see why this was pretty gratifying to see, at least at this point.
For sure. All right, until next time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.